Hello, everyone out in virtual land. Welcome to the Hue Virtual Chat. And hey, we're in the last full week of summer. And well, can't complain because Mother Nature has been perfectly wonderful for us in this whole pandemic and COVID-19. And unfortunately, here in Manitoba, we are seeing a spike. So whether or not this is our second curve, we don't know. Kids are set to go back to school in another week or so, but we're still feeling a little bit of fear. But anyways, as we move forward, we're gonna have some fun today on the show. We're gonna launch or let you have a sneak peek at a fashion line that actually is doing incredibly well through all of this COVID-19. But our first topic is gonna be a little bit more serious. On August 31st, it'll be the International Awareness for Drug Overdose, and it is a major, major problem. Even here in Manitoba, we're having a record number of overdoses, especially with the use of opioids. So we're gonna let our ladies come into the chat, be prepared to hear some tough topics, but then also end up with some really fun fashion stuff too as well. Hello, everybody. Hi, so great to see you. Hey, hello. Oh, hey. Hi, Aly. Hi, Robin. Morning, Charlotte. Oh my goodness, and I know we're gonna meet for the first time some beautiful models, so they're gonna have to do a little bit of a introduction for themselves too as well. Oh, it's so good to see all of you. Well, how's everybody doing in this last week of summer? Now, your mics are muted right now, so go ahead, Robin. You always like kickstart everything.
Well, it's still super warm. Just have fun for the next month. Come on. Let's just keep that summer going. And I enjoy winter, so I'm okay. But, for the rest of you Canadians.
Oh my goodness. Oh, and good morning, Aly. It's been a little bit of a break. You've been busy at your new job, and I know that you've got something or an event that's coming up, and I really wanted to make sure that everybody knew about it and share it with the ladies too as well, because the topic is really important too as well. So you get the stage right now.
Perfect. Well, hello everyone. It's so nice to see your friendly faces. It's been a little while. Charlotte, I love your background. So yeah, this event I spoke at it last year, and of course it was in person, so things are going to be a little bit different now. We're doing it virtually as for everything else this year. But this event, it was originally called Drop the Needle, Pick Up the Pace. And in honor of that, it was through Chad Cawson who created it, and he had lost a sister who had died by an overdose. And what he wanted to do was kind of create some light in a dark situation. And by doing that, he wanted to create this walk, and this walk was bringing together, it was really, really beautiful to see in person last year. It was bringing together families who have lost loved ones due to drug overdose, and they were all walking for that person or walking for a cause. They were all wearing their shirts, and it was really nice. It was collective. I went over and I did a little talk and a speech, and honestly, they inspired me more than anything that day to see how they could get back up and be so resilient and still be that light at the end of the tunnel for people. But this year we are doing it virtually. So on August 31st, it is International Overdose Awareness Day. And that was only recognized in Manitoba, I believe, in 2017. So that's only 3 years away, and we know that the drug addiction and the problem with drug abuse has been a lot longer than 3 years here in Manitoba, right? So right now, and more than ever, I think it's safe to say that 2020 has been the year of the uncomfortable situations and uncomfortable conversations that we need to have. So right now, there is a lot of numbers in rising when it comes to addictions and when it comes to overdose awareness. So on this day, what it is it's called a Walk for Jay. He's teamed up with somebody who has also lost their sibling. And so both of them have the J name. So now we're going to do a Walk for Jay. And what we're asking is people across the world, across social media, anywhere they are, just do something exercise worth. Like, you know what? It doesn't even need to be exercise worth, because I'm probably going to do some yoga or maybe even some funny poses, anything, whatever it is, just showing awareness. We're wearing purple, and we want to use the hashtags hashtag a walk for J 2020, or hashtag IOAD 2020, which is International Overdose Awareness Day 2020, and hashtag overdose awareness, or hashtag JL overdose. And you can put it on your social media and you can tag them in it, or you can go on their page and you can just share it on their page, which I'm sure they will be really happy for. And then they can make kind of like a little collage of it. And I think that volume, and there's a lot of power in numbers, right? So people kind of ask, well, what is this going to do? What is this social media thing going to actually, is this going to stop people from doing drugs? That's not the point of this. The point is to have those uncomfortable conversations. I think that 2020 has been proven that we have been able to do a lot of things over social media, and we've been able to make a lot of different campaigns, different movements on social media. So if we can all collectively stand together and show that there's this many people who are worried for other people, or who are saying now is the time to talk about it, there's nothing to be ashamed of. There is absolutely nothing to be ashamed of when it comes to how you are coping, because we all cope differently, right? We all cope differently, and this is just their way of coping. So if we can have those uncomfortable conversations, and there's going to be a bunch of us doing it, then I'm going to hope that we're going to see some numbers, and we're going to see some movement, and say it's time to act now. We don't have time to sit back and stand back, and we don't have time to wait for big expensive fees to go in to get some help. We just need to be there for people. We need to be there to listen to people, and we need to be there for an ear. Even if you don't understand, be there, right? So I'm just hoping that this event can prove that in numbers we can be loud, and we can say that now is the time that we need to look at these people and we need to help them, and that there's absolutely nothing wrong with the way that they chose to cope, and it's on us to bring that awareness forward.
Wow. Aly, can you do, first of all, a big favor and write down all those hashtags and their Facebook on the chat there, so you can share them with all our ladies, and we can share it on our Facebook.
You bet.
I guess maybe my question to you, Allison, I mean, 2017 it started. How have you seen it grow? And I guess maybe you talked about the importance, especially in 2020 and what we're living with. And, you know, every time when we get together, we have such, you know, different conversations and probably we would in any other year. But I guess it is a very important year, but how have you seen, has there been a shift, or is it just sort of been the same?
It has been a shift. There's been a dramatic increase when it comes to using or even abusing, right? I mean, look at our mental health. We're all self-isolating, and I mean, mental health and addiction go hand in hand. 60 to 80% co-occurrence rate right now, according to the Virgo report, right? So there was a point this year where there was actually hardly any meth on the streets. So people who were using meth were switching to other drugs like fentanyl and other things, because we actually were having a shortage of meth, because people are at home, they're stuck with their own thoughts. It goes the same way with mental illness and how we all cope. And right now, more than ever, there were a lot of overdoses. The amount of naloxone kits that have been distributed by the government has gone up significantly, and there needs to be more. In fact, there needs to be way more. I believe that all nonprofits and all charities and people who are doing that frontline work need to have them on hand, because we don't know, and we need to be prepared. But this year has been definitely a hit for many people. I myself have lost a few people due to drug overdose this year, and it wasn't expected. A lot of these people were on the path for sobriety, right? But this year has done a lot for people, and definitely when we're all self-isolating, all we got is ourselves. And I don't know about you guys, but I get real sick of myself sometimes. So it's definitely been a year that I think right now, not only has there been a significant rise and a significant more need for it, it's been a year that we've been proven to been able to make change when it comes to these uncomfortable conversations, whether it be suicide, whether it be mental illness, whether it be racism, any of these things that have been going on this year. And none of them are great, but all these things need to be addressed, and this is definitely one of them. And I can probably say that a lot of these things that have happened this year have led to a lot of these things, right? It's been a hard year for many people. So in terms of the increase of it and the need of it, I've never seen a year I've not been working in the field for over 20 years or anything, but in the last little bit that I have been working, this has definitely been the highest I've ever seen it in terms of drug use and the need for more help, support, and I would say support, even financial support from the government. It's just support in general.
Wow, it's like a wildfire. I'm going to open it up to Robin and Charlotte now because your work, peer support, and fill us into with some exciting news in Ontario. But I guess how can we and how are you going to, help out in this whole international overdose awareness and, simply getting the word out? Robin.
Well, I think it is as simple as that, continuing to talk about it, right? We don't talk about it. We don't talk about like the people who are dealing with it. We don't know who's taking drugs and who's not. There are people in our community. I didn't even realize there was as much cocaine happening in Winnipeg as I've since found out. And there's people we wouldn't even know doing drugs and coping with their life that way and dealing with it. And I think if we can keep talking and saying, hey, let's talk about this. Here's the other thing for me. I don't believe it's just about abstinence. I think like there's some people who want abstinence, there's some people who want harm reduction, and some people who are medically assisted in terms of coming off drugs or being supported with what's happening for them. And so for me, like we just actually just finished yesterday a just over a 2-week peer support course with some people who like some addiction peer support workers who are going to be working in the emergency room in Peterborough in Ontario. And their big thing is that one of the reasons the hospital talked to them about coming in and working there is so many people coming in with overdoses. So I think for me, Aly said, we don't have to always know, we just have to like be there to talk. Absolutely. And if we can get more people who have gone through it, whether they're abstinent, harm reduction, or using something else to, medically assist them with coming off drugs and stuff, if we can get more of that happening, like we have those different conversations too. We have the conversations for people who've been there and done the like struggle to come off or change their drug use, or even take a look at what it is underlying that drug use. And I think that's the piece, the stigma and discrimination that occurs in our society, those druggies, right? Instead of what happened and has someone want to go to that place? And I think that's the important piece for me. And one of the guys that was helping us co-facilitate this course works with Main Street Project as a peer advocate. And he's a guy that came off the streets in East Vancouver. And so his conversations with people like are just like, hey, like, I've had some of this happen, let's just chat. And I think if we can support people to come out of judgment and validate what's happening for people, and be in that kind of empathetic, compassionate conversation, we have a better shot at this. But right now we've got people who are hiding usage because they're like the stigma and discrimination that comes with talking about it. So Aly, I love that you're involved with this, because I think let's just talk about it. Let's get real and be there with people. And yes, we've had an increase. We do know that some of the drugs are harder to get now. So we do know that some of the crime rates have got up because people are having to pay more to try and get it to do stuff. And I just, like for us, we've got another peer support project coming up with an opioid replacement service in one of the eastern provinces. So like we're doing what we can to encourage people to just keep talking about it. I rambled, sorry.
And if I could just jump in there too, that was such a good point, Robin. A lot of backlash that I've been hearing, and it's sad that there's even backlash around this kind of stuff, because I'm sorry, but mental illness and addiction does not discriminate. Okay, I can tell you about 30 lawyers or doctors that I even know that do these things. There's no class status or one person or race or gender, and of course these things play into it. Intersectionality has a huge place in this, but one of the things I often hear is, You know, like this is that we're not doing safe injection sites, or we're not going to do harm reduction, or we're not going to do this because not in my backyard, not here, not in my backyard. Well, you know what? It's been in your backyard. It's been in your front yard, and it's been in your neighbor's yard, and it's been in your back lane for the last many years. So it's about time that we collectively change that. So I just really, really appreciate you saying that. And thank you for making sure that these programs and these peer supports are so accessible, because I have in the past, you know, I'm definitely, I've had my own share with addiction and overcoming that. And so when I speak to people on it, it melts my heart, and knowing that there's other people doing that and continuing that conversation with like minds and peer support is incredibly valuable. So thank you.
Can I add one thing too? Just
Yes.
coming from the family perspective of, you know, supporting family members who are struggling with mental health and addiction. One of the things that Robbins and my company does is we have online family support groups and parent support groups that are free to any family in Manitoba. They run Wednesday nights. And this is something that we address all the time. You know, as a family member, how are we supporting not only the individual that we love who are struggling with mental health and addiction, but also how to, you know, support yourselves. Our colleague Kirsten runs an amazing workshop for family members, which delves into the role of an advocate versus an enabler, and really having families start to take a look at their role as, am I enabling, or am I actually being an advocate and supporting? So that's been a really great one, because so often we see, you know, parents, you know, truly with a kind heart, but really enabling the person that they love by, you know, making excuses why they have a drug, you know, a drug issue. You know, this is their mental illness talking, but just really taking a deep look at that. We also have an amazing course called Getting Rid of the Shoulds, and this one really supports language and you know, the use of should. You know, we should on ourselves all the time, but then when as a parent, you know shoulding on your loved ones. So if you get a moment, take a look at our workshops coming up. But yeah,
And
this is
those courses are free. We're not, you know, we've been supported to be able to deliver them, so they're free. It's not like you have to pay. We're not here going, woohoo, pay us. Like, we do stuff like that as well.
Such amazing work. So Charlotte, maybe put all of the website and any of your, you know, social media information there just for us again. I want to ask you too, Charlotte, I mean, and Robin can pipe in, you train these peer supporters. What do you look for? Or is it just, you know, that they will be good? Because I'm sure you've had people where you're just, you know, yeah, this may not be quite up your alley. What kind of qualities do you look for, Charlotte? I mean, yeah, and you're more family minded.
You know, it was interesting, Tracy, the group we were just training from Peterborough, few of them had, quote, letters attached to their name. They had very clinical degrees, but they had lived experience. And so for us, a peer worker does not need to have a PhD in psychology or sociology or social work. It's a PhD in lived experience. So it's just having that. You know, for me, I have family members who struggle with mental health as well as addiction, and so that's where my wheelhouse is. So it's a PhD in lived experience and living experience, because it's still going on. The peer workers we just trained who are working in the Crisis Response Center and as well as the Dauphin Hospital, they have every kind of background, individual as well as family members. Some have a background in homelessness and addiction and mental health challenges. Others have supporting, you know, family members who have the same kind of background. Robin, do you want to add to this? I mean, we think the more lived experience, the better in our world, but peer support can also be, you know, in our corporate world, it's just the stresses of working in that business or in that profession. And it's not mental illness related. It's just, you know, talking about mental health on a continuum and what it's like to work in that field. Robin.
I think for me, there's a couple of things. One, if you don't like people, you're not going to be a good peer worker. Like I had someone come to me once and say, I got told that because I've been crazy, I know I'm politically incorrect, I can say that because, you know, I've got my own stuff. Like, I want this, I got told I'd be a good peer worker. And I'm like, but you don't like people? And they went, yeah, I hate them. I'm like, well, this isn't the job for you. So I'm going to look for, when I interview people initially, I look for people that have some self-awareness, that actually, like, it's not all about them. It's not about them having to tell everyone about their story. Because as a peer worker, you want to be selective about what you tell and how you tell it. And it's for the benefit of the individual, not for the benefit of you as the peer worker. So I look for that. I look for compassion and empathy. I do look for people who like can think on their feet and are okay with grey areas. Because if you're like, oh, it's got to look like this, peer work's not a kind of thing for you. And I guess one of the things we do in the training is I push people's buttons to the nth degree. Because if you're going to be going into an emergency room situation, you don't know what's coming. So I tend to poke and prod at biases. I poke and prod at people's like trauma stuff, like what people call triggers maybe, to try and get people to become like aware of those. So I look for people who are able to roll with the punches, can also stand up, because sometimes clinicians are like, it should be like this, you should tell me everything. And as a peer worker, we're not going to do that, right? There's some things we'll tell others about, you know, risk to self, others, or child abuse. But other than that, you know, we're going to keep those conversations to ourselves, because that's the beauty of someone trusting you to be able to have some of those conversations. So they're just some of the things. I know, you know, did that answer the question you were asking, Tracy?
No, you did. I mean, I think it's a very, very fine, detailed thing, and a difference for everyone. Before we wrap up, Aly, just for you on a personal, I guess, note, how did you overcome your demons, I guess, if you will?
Oh, they're still here. No, I'm just kidding. For me, I don't think it's about overcoming. I think for myself, I've had a long journey, right? So I live with mental illness. I started when I was 14 years old, and I'm now 26 years old, and it's just it's just still going. So for me, it was a big support system, right? And a lot of people don't have that, unfortunately. A lot of people don't have the supports I do. My mom is my rock, always, no, like always, always, always number one. And a lot of people don't have that, or if they do, they don't have the relationship they do, or feel comfortable enough to do so. But I actually had a conversation with somebody yesterday, because I said, you know, I know that mine was my reason that I was able to kind of change my life into a different structure was not only was what I was doing to cope, making my mental illness worse, which was just a vicious cycle over and over. So, you know, you cope and then you get really bad anxiety, and then you try something else to get rid of the anxiety. It's just a cycle, right? So that in itself was huge. And then for myself, also the disappointment in my family. It wasn't about me, right? Because at that point, when I was in that state, I didn't care too much about my own, who I was impressing myself, or I wasn't going to put this on my resume later on, right? So it was more about who I was disappointing in my family. And that was my mom. And I refused to make my mom worry, or make my mom cry, or make her stay up at nighttime. So my mom was my big push, as well as just just my own resiliency. It was hard. I did have a random attack in 2016, which was very close to leading me to going back into my old days. But thankfully, with the supports that I had in place, it was big. But it was easier for me to stay on track and remember that I was able to turn all of my wounds into wisdom rather than fall back down into that dark hole. So I started working in the field of peer support at the time, and I was helping people with my story. And that was actually one of the biggest things that helped me overcome my own my own journey, I suppose. And but I did speak to someone the other day who runs a peer support group for meth recovery, and it's called Jib Stop. And I wanted to talk to him and ask him, as somebody who's in that profession and knows a lot more about meth specifically than I do at all. And he was telling me that there needs to be a purpose. That's what he said, was there has to be a purpose, and you have to be able to find that purpose, and you need to be the one. It can't be someone else, it can't be something else, and it can't be just this kind of above power. It has to be a purpose inside of you, and you need to be willing to do it to come off that. And I don't know if that's for every single drug or for every different substance, but in terms of this particular drug, and I know that meth is very, very a big drug right now here in Winnipeg. So he said that there needs to be a purpose, and they need to be ready and willing to do it and have those supports in place. So I would also encourage Charlotte and Robin to check out Jib Stop and chat with him, because this is a really great connection there, and it seems like you two can have a great correlate. But yeah, for me, it's just been being very open about myself. I don't like to hide anything. I'm an open book, right? So I talk about my experiences. I hope it'll inspire other people to not think that we are weak or that we don't know how to handle our emotions, so we run to a bottle of liquor or whatever it may be, whatever that person may be, whatever their poison is, if you will. We're all human, okay? So I'm not afraid to talk about those things, and I think that that makes a huge piece of who we are in resiliency building. It's just that on its own is going to build your own resiliency and your own strength.
Wow. Well, thank you so much, Aly, and best. And yes, I see your little comment in the chat. So we all are now going to have to post a video. Oh, well, this is a great segue. Allison, do you have any purple in the Cabi collection? Oh, so you know what? Like anything else, Robin, you're sad here, then you're happy there. This show goes all over the place. So now we're just gonna go to that happy area now, and just don't forget August 31st, and of course too, that's my birthday. All right, so I'm gonna be after all of you ladies to make sure you post something and wear purple. All right, so I would like to introduce Allison Sigelski, and she is going to tell us all about this fabulous fashion line, Cabi, and how it kind of, you fell upon it, how it works, how we have all of these other beautiful ladies. And yes, maybe first of all, Allison, introduce your models for today. And you might have to unmute your mic.
Okay, can you hear me?
Yeah, you're good.
Hi, Tracy. Thanks for having me. I have some beautiful models here. They're some of my friends and my clients wearing some gorgeous fall pieces. And what a great day to talk about fall. It's all overcast and cloudy. It's not, a billion degrees outside. So this is all good. I've got Marina here. I've got Shannon, I've got Kathy, and I've got Christina. I feel like I'm in Romper Room.
I know. Yeah, all you need is your magic mirror.
I see Christina.
Okay, now we're giving away how old we are. Okay, enough. Yeah. All right, so tell us about Cabi and what makes it unique, I guess, from going to all the stores that we go to.
Yeah, so Cabi has been around in the United States for almost 20 years. It's a company run out of California. It's all the clothes are designed out of California. It's a company run by women for women. It's only women on the executive team. So for me, that really resonates to me that I have women who are actually wearing the clothes, designing the clothes. They understand kind of what women, 30, 35 plus are looking for in their wardrobe. It really focuses on capsule dressing and making sure that we're respecting women's time, women's pocketbooks, making sure that the pieces that you're buying are well made, they feel good, and they look good year after year and season after season. So what Cabi is really known for is black. If you buy a black pair of trousers this year and next year you want to buy the really cute black jacket, it's the same black. So your separates can become suits. Everything works season after season. So for me it was easy to just love the clothes because they they work every year, every season. I don't have to overhaul my closet every season. I just add a few pieces every year and I wear my clothes. I don't have a closet full of clothes that I never wear. So for me, that's Cabi works, and it's only been in Canada for 4 years. It's relatively new, and it's kind of like a cult status here in Canada. Those that know about it absolutely love it. And the word is getting out, and women, whenever I introduce it to them, they inevitably say, where has this been all my life? It's too easy. You know, there's an app. I can shop online. It holds all my purchases on the app. It makes outfits for me. It makes outfit recommendations from something I bought 2 years ago. It tells me it goes with the pair of pants that just launched this month. So it's smart shopping, and really respects your time. So I love it. And I know a lot of my clients here absolutely love it. So yeah, so I'm going to show you. Do you want me to talk about a little bit of the fashion trends we're seeing?
Well, yeah, or we can get into our little fashion show and then you can do that. Because I'm sure
Sure.
they're all just like, they're going, I've got this hot sweater on. I'm so
Oh,
hot.
I know. Like poor Marina, she's got a red sweater on. So how about Marina, you stand up, you show us. So we've got some tabletop dressing here for Zoom, but she's got a beautiful red passage cardigan.
Ooh.
And Cabi's known for their red. Like every year they bring out one red sweater and it's just a showstopper. And this one has, if you turn around, Marina, it's got some shape in the back. It's got ribbing. It's just beautiful. And here I am ringing. It's a client calling.
Hopefully that they're seeing you on Zoom, on Facebook.
They're seeing Zoom and putting their orders in. And what Marina's got underneath is the Sinatra blouse, which is just, it's so pretty, so feminine. It's got a little ruffle detail at the shoulder and just a beautiful little polka dot. And she's got a Cabi scarf as her belt.
I love that.
It's just, it's so chic, right? And so simple. And she's wearing it with a pair of vintage black Cabi trousers from when, Marina? Yeah, 3 years ago. Yeah.
Oh, wow. Oh, that's
So it looks beautiful. Yeah.
Aly,
Yeah, I love
I
it.
could see that on Aly. I could see that on you. It's a good work. You know, I'm sure Carmen would love that upside down tree exec look. Okay.
Yeah. Yeah. And I'm getting, the moms who are, in business, they're shopping their separates for me. And then they're bringing their daughters who are like, my daughter has a job interview. She needs an appropriate jacket. She needs something appropriate. And then I've got like multi-generational, shoppers, and it's great. It's great to see all these women looking so wonderful in their Cabi. So next I've got Christina. Christina is wearing this blouse is a showstopper. So one of the things that Cabi is known for is pleating, just a little detail. So she's wearing the Harmony blouse, and it's reflective of one of our trends called the Golden Rule. So you're gonna see lots of caramels, lots of pumpkin spice, and even navy for fall. And so this blouse is just beautiful. It's got all these little details, just a showstopper. And she's wearing it with high-waisted, straight leg jeans. Beautiful. They look wonderful on Christina. And the cuffs. So what I love, so for me, I'm always a 3/4 length sleeve girl. I'm always pushing my sleeves up. So what Cabi always does is they make sure those sleeves stay put. So there's an elastic cuff, you push it up, and all of a sudden you have a different look on your sleeves. So all the little special little details. Now Christina's gonna show, this is my fall coat. I love this. So shearling was on the runway for fall, and Cabi's done it in a faux shearling, and it's like wearing a teddy bear. And this jacket you can throw in the washing machine. So it's another thing that Cabi does, respecting women's time, is 99% of the line is machine washable, and throw it in the dryer, and there you go.
Wow.
So another wonderful jacket. It's like wearing a teddy bear. I have to pry it off my children. They love it. So, so thank you, Christina.
Thank you. And I was just wanting to add too, I like that little half tuck the shirt in, and it gives it like a asymmetrical kind of line. Yes.
Yes.
I don't
So
know,
front
Christina,
tuck.
if that was something that you did, but that looks fab. I like it.
Yeah.
And it's very bohemian eye looking, because it's a mix of patterns, right? And that
Mhm.
beautiful.
Yeah. It's gorgeous.
Thank
Love it.
you.
All right, next I've got Kathy. And Kathy's wearing an adorable Goals cardigan. It's a little black cardigan, and it's kind of like 1940s style. It's a little cropped, a little close to the body, and it's got some oversized buttons. And it's just, you know, a replacement for a blazer. Throw it over any top, any white top, a t-shirt, and you know, you're ready to go out the door. So Kathy, show us your cute little stellar top underneath. This is adorable. And I'm not sure if you can't really tell, but from there it looks like it's, you know, kind of purpley, kind of brown, but it's actually a micro print. And they're little stars that are hot pink, yellow, orange, and navy. And it's just one of those kind of trick your eye prints, and it's a really fun blouse. And one of the things that I like about this blouse and a lot of the Cabi pieces is that they're seasonless, and you wear it fall with a sweater, you wear it spring by itself. And again, respecting your time and your pocketbook. So I love that look. And Kathy's wearing them with the high skinnies, which is a gray skinny jean and with a destructed knee. So a little bit more on trend, a little bit interesting. Kathy's a yoga instructor, and she buys Cabi jeans and says she can do yoga in them. They've got such good stretch.
But not hot yoga, not recommended.
No. Oh no, that'd be terrible. So thank you, Kathy.
Thanks, Kathy. That's really cute.
And I've got Shannon here. So Shannon actually came on, discovered Cabi last year, and she was one of the ones where has this been all my life? Like, this is, you know, where else? I would never shop anywhere else but here. And so she loved it so much, she decided to become a stylist. So she has her own roster of clientele, and she's off doing fashion shows and doing personal styling appointments with women. So she's wearing a 1940s inspired houndstooth jacket, and I call it the shacket because it's like a sweater and a jacket. So it's not so constructed and so constricting like a blazer. It is soft, it's stretchy, and it moves, and I love it. It's houndstooth, and it's got a really nice shawl wrap collar. Now, Shannon, you have a yellow jacket you want to show everyone? I'll get that too. Yeah, she's wearing underneath, she's wearing the portrait blouse, which is just a everyone needs a beautiful white blouse, and this one's sleeveless. Yeah, looks gorgeous with the ruffles.
What kind of material is it?
It's a poly blend.
Okay, yeah.
Yeah, so easy. I throw them in the washing machine on cold, hang dry, out the door. So Shannon's wearing the Citizen jacket, which is a stretchy corduroy jacket, and it's kind of like a replacement for a jean jacket, and it's fun, and it's yellow, and it's just a happy color. And I find, you know, with the times we're in, we need more happy. We need, you know, fall I always think is, you know, gray and black, but no, it should have happy colors. And, you know, this marigold color is just, it's beautiful.
Oh, wow.
So, yeah.
I love it. And corduroy. So corduroy is coming back?
A corduroy is back, but it is not the corduroy we remember when we were young, when you know, with your corduroy pants and you walk and it makes fire when you walk because the corduroy is just so stiff. This is corduroy that's got such a good stretch and is so soft that it's like velvet. It's just, it's nice. Beautiful. Yeah, really easy to wear and really easy to care for. So yeah, and I'm wearing kind of like a hybrid corduroy. It's kind of like a, I want to say like a not like a mesh, but like almost like I'll call it corduroy. It's like plaid corduroy. I don't know. It's beautiful, but it's in a teal color. I'm wearing the linen jacket, and it's kind of like your tabletop showpiece. It's got the beautiful vintage buttons, and I've got it over the ever top, which beautiful navy with shots of gray and shots of yellow, and it's just fun. And it's easy to wear and comfortable. And one of the things I like about Cabi is the fabrics are so soft and so easy. And it's just, again, easy wear.
Wow. Well, you know what? They're all great. Charlotte, I bet you liked Allison's jacket. and probably Shannon's sweater jacket.
Yeah, I've been, sorry, I'm having squirrel moments because Allison, I'm on your web, like on the Cabi website going, I have a question for you guys. I
For sure.
am not an online shopper. It stresses me out. I love looking at stuff, but actually getting to the point of pushing the order, haven't gotten there yet. So I was just about to look at the styling services, because that's where I'm missing going into stores, feeling the fabrics. I know, Tracy, we talked about this on another show, and you know, that kind of stuff. So how do you guys address that?
So what we do is, that's one of the things that I actually loved during COVID. Being at home, I mean, I'm home with my family, but I've got this inventory. I have all my samples here in every size. And so I'd have women who would call me and say, you know, I really like, you know, this shirt and these pants. I'd be like, great, let me put them in a garment bag and drop them to you. And you can have them overnight, try them on at home, try them with the clothes you own, try them with your shoes, you know, and so you'll put together your outfits at home. So that's one of the services, the garment drop-off bag, which is great. Another one is just special one-on-one services. So I can bring several garment bags and we can work together on putting together the best outfit for you. We do squad shops. Which we used to do in person, and sometimes I'll do bubble groups, which some women will want to shop with a couple girlfriends, and then I'll bring, you know, 80 pieces of clothing. They'll have some wine, and then they'll shop together. I've transitioned that to doing these shops online, but for those women who want to touch, feel, try on, I do the one-on-one appointments or the garment bag drop off. So I think from what I'm hearing from all my clients is that it's so much more relaxing than the mall, because you don't have to drive there, because I'm bringing it to you, and you're not wearing a mask at the mall, and I'm bringing the clothes to you, and you get to try it the way you want to do it. So it's been working really well.
Well, and I guess that was my next question to you, Allison, because you've been busy, right, through all of this, and probably will be like this for the next, for sure, a month, maybe 2 or more.
Yeah, I know. And at first, like when COVID hit, I thought, oh my goodness, like what's going to happen? Like, are women going to want to buy clothes? And women bought clothes. We still shopped. My phone was still ringing off the hook, and I was getting texts like, can I please try this? Can I come just to your, this was Shannon, can I just come to your door and you roll the rack to the door? I'll stand outside and pick what I want. We make it work, right? And for Cabi, their business, like we sold out collections this spring. You know, when traditional retail was cratering, stores were closing, women were buying clothes, and they were buying what Cabi had to offer this year. So it's been great. I've got so many orders going in for fall clothes. The collection is absolutely spectacular. So I'm very happy.
Well, it looks wonderful. So on a personal note too, for you, Allison, you've got an interesting, well, of course, background in fashion. And how did you get into this? Because, and correct me, you're the only woman that's selling Cabi in Winnipeg, or are there other women?
There are 3 of us. There's actually one, Lori Duncan, lives a couple of streets away from me, and she actually brought it to Winnipeg from Scottsdale. So how Cabi came to Winnipeg was through Americans who were like, they came to Winnipeg and went, where's the Cabi? Where's my clothes? Where's my garment bag drop off? Like, where is all this? So they brought it here. And so there's 3 of us right now. So Shannon and me and Lori, and we're covering Winnipeg. For me, my journey here, I have a very circuitous journey. I modeled for over half my life. That's how I put myself through university. And then I hung up my pumps and I went and I worked in a corporate job, and I was in communications and public relations for a long, long time. And then I had my kids, and, you know, you had that struggle, you know, it was hard, you know, we had 2 big jobs in our family. And then, you know, it's the whole, you know, when the kid gets sick at school, whose job is less important. So I took a step back and I was a stay-at-home mom and I absolutely loved it. And then my youngest went to school full time and I thought it was time for me to do something new. I didn't know what, but I always knew I would want to be in fashion because that's kind of where I wanted to be. And it's a creative outlet for me. So I actually had a Cabi stylist at the time who was from Scottsdale, and she was going to retire. She was going to give up her business because she had 2 little babies and she didn't have any time to do it anymore. And she asked me to take it over for her, and I said yes, and I've loved every minute of it.
Oh, wow. Well, and of course you meet such incredible women too as well. So let's get to meet some of them. I'm going to go down to Christine. Okay, so how comfortable is that coat, Christine? Oh, you got to unmute your mic. Just unmute your mic.
There we go. Sorry.
It's okay.
Everything from Cabi is exceptionally comfortable. And as Allison said, it coordinates for you. It's easily washed. And if you get the wrong size, you go back to Allison and she handles you getting the right size. So everything is comfy, and if it's not, she'll make it fit for you.
Now, and this is it too, because sometimes getting back to it, looking at a piece online, it looks nice, really nice on the model, but I can't picture it on me. Now, does Allison help you get out of your comfort zone of wearing all black? Because I mean, that blouse is a stunner. Like, I mean, I love the coat, but that blouse looks fantastic on you.
Alice, she's helped tremendously. My story is I retired from a healthcare management position 3 years ago. And as I say to Allison, overdid the comfort, post-retirement comfort look. So I'm finding my way back, and I'm shocked even wearing the blouse that I currently am wearing, and indeed have ordered it. So being able, and I'm lucky that I can get the garment delivery in about 30 seconds notice because I live across the street.
Oh.
So being able to actually take it home and try it on with things, and then if you're not sure, try it on again in the morning, allows you to be so much more comfortable with a new look.
Oh.
And most of the time, if not all of the time, I've then purchased. But if I have second thoughts, again, once it comes to me, it's very easy to return it. But I really haven't had to do that.
Oh. Well, I mean, it looks amazing. Amazing.
Thank you. Thank you, Allison, for suggesting I try it on, because it wasn't really my choice. I think it was Allison or maybe one of her kids.
Oh.
Yeah. I have a 7-year-old. I have a 7-year-old Charlotte, the mini Cabi stylist, and she absolutely loves it when the women come over. And if you come over, she'll be the one pulling something you'd never wear, and she'll put it in the bag for you, and you just might love it. So.
Yeah. Oh my goodness. Always good to have those little helpers.
Yeah.
Oh, and Kathy, how did you pick your background to match so beautifully with your outfit? Or is that, yeah.
The background is just, I'm in my office right now.
Oh.
It just happens to be what it is. Yeah.
Oh, but perfect. And yeah, and it's too bad we can't actually probably see the true colors. Like,
Yeah.
Allison, I liken it to that YouTube dress. Is it white and gold, or is it blue or purple or something like that? But
Yeah.
It's amazing. And I guess for you, Kathy, what's your story and how you came on to Cabi?
Well, like Christina, I'm super lucky because Allison is right around the corner from my house. So, but she's so amazing at what she does. And I've been buying Cabi now for a few seasons, and I am shocked. So just yesterday, she made me try on the jeans I'm wearing today, which I kind of peeked at on the rack, and I said, nah, not really for me. I'm not really feeling it. Or I'll say about another pair of pants that I purchased yesterday, not into the pockets on the legs. She just encourages me ever so gently to try them. I try them, and guess what? I've now bought both of those pairs of pants. Like, it's things that you don't think of, and when you have that personal stylist who has a keen eye and is truthful and will tell you, yes, this looks good, no, this wasn't. But it's takes you outside of your thinking. So it's just personalized style, which I love. And it feels amazing as always. So
Well,
yeah,
that's the most
win-win.
important thing, right? Yeah, is that it makes you feel like $1 million too as well. I mean, I
For
think
sure.
that's all part of it, and then it's always going to be a go-to piece.
Yeah.
And yes, so, and hello, Shannon. First of all, when I saw Shannon, I thought, oh my God, we have Laura Dern on our show. She just looks all this from that, show with Reese Witherspoon and great little awesome series. I love it. But I mean, of course, and Laura Dern was always dressed to the nines in that show. But no, but I guess Shannon. So Allison just not only sold you on the clothes, but now you're part of the Cabi team. So I guess on sort of on how this all worked out for you. Yeah, share your story.
I used to model with Allison, and then she introduced me to the clothes, and we did a couple fashion shows together. And like I said, when I saw what was it, your fashion show in the spring, Allison, I think I bought the catalog. And I said, well, this is crazy. I bought so much stuff. I might as well sell this. And it's so much fun. I'm retired now, and this is like the best job ever. And I love the clothes, and it's just fun being with all the women too. It's just great.
Oh, for both of you then, Shannon and Allison, interesting times when we talk about fashion and fashion modeling. I remember the heyday when, there used to be fashion shows at Eaton's and the Bay, and you girls would be like running and racing, Hortense and, Barbie Smith. Hey, I'm going back and dating myself.
I know them all.
And Jane Campbell, and Liz Crawford too. And but again, like the whole world of modeling has certainly changed, and he's in the news right now. And I don't know if you were in any of his shows, but pretty incredible, or is it not really incredible? I mean, I'm sure you knew women and whatever and whatnot that, traveled in the same circles. And of course, we're talking about Peter Nygard. I mean, I'll say that, but.
Yeah, I think you can't be from Winnipeg and not have, not know of a Nygard story and things like that. But I mean, the modeling industry, it's changed now. I think the modeling industry with social media, it's more like anybody can be a model now, and I think that's great. Like, I think it's accessible to everyone, and we've got iPhones that take amazing pictures. Like, I feel sorry for photographers. Their talent is immeasurable, but the iPhone has really kind of democratized modeling, and so anyone can look fabulous and post a wonderful picture and be their own spokesperson. And I think that's really great. And and with COVID and everything, I don't know if we're going to see a return to the big fashion shows. I think we've seen how fashion shows can be done online and virtually. And I'm on the gala committee for Ronald McDonald House here in Winnipeg, and our Haute Couture Gala was the first gala to fall victim to COVID. We were March 12th. Yeah. And we had a big fashion show planned for the convention center, and we were in the middle of setting up tables and the whole thing got canceled. So we're doing a virtual fashion show, and we've got Liz Crawford from Swish, and she's going to do an amazing job, and the beautiful models from Winnipeg who are, they are world class, these girls, and they're going to do a great job. But I think, the fashion industry, like, is retail changing? Yes, retail is changing, and I think I think women are driving that change. I think women are saying, no, like, I don't want to shop aimlessly in a mall. I don't have the time. I want someone to help me. I want someone to objectively tell me what looks good on me. And I know for myself, I go to the mall sometimes and I'm looking for something and I just feel overwhelmed. And I just want that personal touch now. Like, I walk into a store, and if someone's staring at their phone and I'm a ghost in the store, and I've got money to spend, but they're not interested. So, I'm going to go where someone's willing to spend time with me and build a relationship with me. And I think that for a lot of us, that's what Cabi offers, is that relationship. And for me personally, the friendships I've made with these women and the women I've met are just incredible. And they've helped me in my journey. So I love it. And that's the power of fashion, right?
Oh, it is. And I think what you're doing is is where probably things are going to go. I mean, I think we all feel the same. And now I guess the next step for Cabi is just to kind of introduce it into the younger generation. So now you can have your daughters or your little girls and have fashion there. That's where I kind of all see it, but going. But, and Allison too, if you can write down your website too as well. So all that information is shared upon, and I guess maybe just go around the table because we're into our last week of summer. And now Robin said, "Poo, enjoy. Don't even think of that. She likes winter." But I know that you all probably have families, and your kids are getting ready to go back to school. So I mean, I'll just sort of, Kathy, you're at the top of my corner screen. So kind of your thoughts and comments about summer and about heading into fall.
I don't have children going to school, but going into fall, like I'm still into summer. I teach outdoor yoga, and I started outdoor yoga this year, June 1st, and I've had only one day where we've had to move indoors, and it's been beautiful. Like this is the best summer we've had. So I'm kind of not even thinking about fall. I mean, I have to, but it's hard not to be in the moment and just enjoy this wonderful weather we're having. I taught yoga, which is why I came on late on the call. I was teaching outside, so I'm still in summer mode, and I love these pieces because summer I can wear this, winter I can wear this. So I'm just in the moment, enjoying as much as I can, day by day.
So Kathy, please write down your website or any information about your outdoor yoga, because hey, who knows, maybe we'll have extended into September, which we're hoping. Yeah. How about you, Charlotte? Oh, you're still up at the cottage.
I am at the cottage. You can tell by the wood in my background, and
Can we all come for a boat ride? That's on my bucket list before summer ends, to be on a boat.
Yeah, you should come down here. You know what? I am just cherishing these last few days of summer. My birthday's in March. I'm a Pisces. I'm a fish person. I'm like, please keep those warm weather. And I don't think I'm going to get to go away this winter because of this new world. So every day out here is a blessing for me. So just as I said to my business partner, I said I don't know when I'm coming back to the city. So. But and as far as the kids go, my daughter's my youngest is still in university, and it's just I keep saying to her we have to be flexible this year in what university is going to look like. She's at Canadian Mennonite University, and they have a hybrid model where it's partial in class and as well as online, and just really discussing how we just have to each day may bring something different, and as long as she keeps that in mind, because she's a real structure planner, and she's having difficulty just getting around what this might look like. So yeah, so that's for me, and it's sunny in Kenora, so
oh, fingers crossed to bring you in here. Well,
yeah.
The skies are starting to kind of open up a bit, but well, anyways, I'll take you up on that boat ride. Aly. Well, Aly, you're so busy anyways, right?
Yeah, I am. I'm a busy cat for sure. I haven't done too much this summer. Obviously, I don't think any of us have done a grandiose amount of things this summer that we would typically do. But I did do this kind of idea where I made my backyard into a staycation. So it's really small, a very small backyard, but I made it into the cutest possible staycation I could. I got some little twinkly lights, and I got a tiny little pool. It's nothing big, but it keeps me cool on those really hot days. And I've just been going outside, turning my phone off, like, oh, I just lost Wi-Fi and connection because I'm somehow on a vacation. So I've been really taking advantage of that, having tiny little fire pits because I can't have a big one because my yard is so small. So I've been having small fires, and I've been really enjoying that. But for myself, I also don't have children going to school. I do have two little sisters that I am worried about, but also not so worried about because they're kind of They're little firefighters, so I don't know. I think they're gonna be okay. They're just little tough cookies, so they're not worried about it. So that means that I really shouldn't really be worried about it. They told me I shouldn't if they're not worried, so I said okay. I'm not gonna be worried about it. But for me, I'm just kind of getting myself structured around what is September even gonna look like, because I feel like every day is kind of different, right? Like I'm really not following in terms of it's going to be this on this day or this on this day, because every day looks so different, and I feel like all of us don't really know what we're going to wake up to in terms of numbers or what it's going to be or anything like that. So I am big on structure just in terms of keeping my mental health well. It is something that I like to do, is I like to be, even if it's not a real structure and it's just there, it's just like a framework of what my structure would look like. I do like to have that because it makes me feel like I'm more on top of things. So I'm keeping really busy. Everything I'm doing is still happening. I'm still having board meetings. We're doing them outside. I'm for the Alpha House project. All my meetings have either been outside, and I actually really don't mind that now. It's nice. I love seeing everybody's face like this, but also being able to meet outside. So I think just taking a more approach to how we're going to be able to see each other, and doing it kind of like the bittersweet way. So we're all going to have to be really far apart from each other in our lawn chairs, but I still get to see you guys in person. So doing that, and then just understanding that I am probably going to have to switch over my wardrobe soon, but that makes me real happy. So it's all good. And then I'll contact Allison soon. Great.
See, yeah, I knew. Christina, so what's September going to be like for you?
Well, as my neighbors know, it's a little bit different for me as I do still work part-time in healthcare. So I'll be kind of in the thick of things as starting in September. So I'm privileged to live two different lives, kind of a safe little life in our neighborhood. But then I live the other life with someone who's very high risk. So I tend to be grateful that we've had a lovely summer, and I've seen a little bit of Manitoba, but it's certainly not stopping me from making sure I'm well stocked up on things to protect myself and our household and my client. So I kind of have, I think, my feet in two different worlds, enjoying where we are now, but preparing in case things tend to rein in again.
Yeah, well, all the best though as we head into fall. And Allison, how about you?
Well, I'm enjoying the last few days with my kids at home. I'm thinking they're going to school. I'm not sure. I feel so sorry for those school principals. Just they're planning and planning and planning, and who knows? Whatever they plan for today, tomorrow could be completely different. So I'm hopeful they get to go to school, maybe part-time, maybe full-time, maybe for a week or two. Who knows what it's going to look like? But I don't know, this whole experience, it's a blessing. I have to spend more time with my kids at home, like at the end of the day, I got more cuddles this year. So it's all good. It's all good.
Well, thank you so much. And yeah, I know, like, we're going to have to I think we could do a virtual Cabi fashion show. I think that's what we're going to work on. Yeah, I think so. And last but definitely not least, Robin.
What do I say? As an Australian, I never think about summer ending now. Like, my head's like, what? This is winter. What are you talking about? No, I'm just going to keep living my life as I do. Like, the reality is Charlotte told me when I first moved to Canada, she went, Canada closes down in summer. I'm like, what? Why? And so last summer was my first summer here, and I was like, we don't have a lot of business now. And she goes, yeah, everyone's at the lake. And I'm like, oh, and this year I was ready for it. So I got to be super creative and, create new things for the business and stuff. Because I'm like, I have a heart condition, so I'm cautious going out. Like, I'm one of the high risk, apparently. So, I'm a little bit more cautious, but I've started to explore and be very social distance lately. So my dog and I love the cooler weather. So we both walk during the day right now, we're like, it's too hot. When's it going to cool down? Which is not very Canadian, is it? So I'm not sure I'll ever get my permanent residency because I don't love summer as much as Canadians. But yeah, Allison, thanks for sharing that stuff. Like, you know, you can probably tell it's not my style to come shopping with you, but I'm going to be cheeky and go, when I get a girlfriend, I'll be coming shopping with them because I love like helping people pick different clothes and choose things that they get excited about. So I'm super excited about that. And one day I'll find some cute girl and then we'll be there.
Oh, Robin. Anyways, thank you so much, ladies, for today. It's you know what? Every show we do, we meet new friends, we get to know each other. I think that's been my biggest takeaway through all of this, and had some really interesting and tough conversations too. So, like I said, we only want to. This is a place where people can share their stories, and please, like, if you want to come and join again, next Tuesday will be our 30th show. Charlotte and Ron and Kirsten better come too, because I'm going to put a shout out to all of the ladies that, you know, we started off with, and we've certainly gained so many more, and I'm sure they'd be interested in Cabi too, Allison. I've got a list of over 100 people now. Yeah, so next week, come with your what we have all learned since March 12th.
It'll be like the Brady Bunch on steroids.
Or laughing, whatever. Used to have, we could talk into the box. Oh well, I don't know. I'll see if I can come up with that. I'll have to ask my tech guy if we can do that. But yeah, it's been an amazing journey. And too, we'll ask the question too on whether we should continue on with this. I love the conversations, but you know, we'll see. Maybe we can brainstorm all together and find some ideas. So anyways, have a great last week of August. Try and do whatever you have on your bucket list to make sure you cross it off. And may that be your goal. Okay? And Charlotte, yeah, we'll be banging on your door for that boat ride. Okay. All right. Have a great day. We'll see all of you. Bye-bye. Thank you so much, Allison. Thank you so much, Aly. Don't forget, August 31st, wear purple.